Engineer Gold Mines is focused on the exploration and development of the historic high-grade Engineer Gold Mine situated 32 kilometers southwest of Atlan, British Columbia. Engineer Gold Mines is fully permitted for surface and underground exploration with the 2019 drill program now underway. Engineer Gold Mines Limited trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol EAU. For more information, please visit us at engineergoldmines.com.
You're listening to HowStreet.com radio, available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. Welcome to HowStreet.com radio, the online source for market opinions. Here is Jim Goddard.
My guest is Mish Shedlock, editor of Mish's Global Economic Trend Analysis on maven.net/MishTalk. Welcome back to the show, Mish.
Pleasure to be on.
Brexit. Could anything be even more confusing? Will they have an election in Britain before this thing is pulled, or are they just going to slide away without a deal?
I am hoping we have resolution tomorrow. That is my expectation. By resolution, I merely mean a valid way forward as opposed to endless delay after delay after delay, followed by more extension requests. Boris Johnson was forced by the Ben Act to submit a request for an extension. He did so with 2 letters, the first one unsigned, the second one saying, I really don't want this. But the EU is taking the first unsigned letter as the official request. And Johnson can probably at any time until they respond withdraw that request, and he would be in violation of the Ben Act. My expectation is we hear tomorrow whether or not the extension request is approved. He was forced to ask for a delay through up to January 31st of next year. And he was also forced to, if they proposed a longer one, to accept that as well. There's news out today, actually over the last couple days, that France is not happy with these endless discussions. Now, most of the market commentary that I've read said France is just going to go along with the EU and offer an extension to January 31st and expect more delays. I don't think that's the case. I think France is going to come out tomorrow with conditions, and one of the conditions is either take the withdrawal agreement as is, or agree to hold elections to resolve the issue. If so, then we will have the Remainers in the UK Parliament will have a nasty choice on Monday, and that choice will be to do one of those 2 things: agree to have elections in a certain time frame. Boris Johnson today was pressing for December 12th. So I think it would be kind of interesting if France came up with that same date, perhaps to avoid antagonizing anyone. They would make it December 14th or January 4th or something. But the only other choice the UK would have, again, if what I propose happens, would be to approve the withdrawal agreement or to ask for an extension in which they would agree to approve the withdrawal agreement, or have elections within the next, whatever time frame they set. I think that's going to be the nasty choice that the Remainers are going to have to do, and they're going to have to pick one of them. So we'll see, Jim. I don't know, and I certainly hope that France does this. I'm really sick of writing about this topic.
Going on to the U.S.-China trade war, are we going to see any resolution there?
I don't believe so. Certainly not along the lines of what Trump wants, and I also believe it's in China's best interest to, drag this out, hoping he gets a better deal from the Democrat. Perhaps they work something out. I don't know. It certainly won't reduce the trade deficit, no matter what. I'm positive of that. Trump needs a deal way more desperately than China does at this point. Trump has a lot of nasty impeachment process going on in the House. He's looking at manufacturing data that has been absolutely abysmal, the recent hard reports. And, while China can just simply wait. So Trump has to do something here, I believe. I think they'll do this in stages now, so Trump can declare, mini victories, but they're not going to amount to anything.
We'll have more with Mike Shedlock right after this.
Cypress Development Corp. is developing a world-class lithium resource in the heart of Clayton Valley, Nevada. The size of the resource makes the Clayton Valley project a premier asset with the potential to impact the future of lithium supply. Cypress Development Corp. trades on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol CYP, the OTCQB, symbol CYDVF, and on Frankfurt, symbol C1Z1. For more information, please visit our website, cypressdevelopmentcorp.com.
Media recognition from Bloomberg, Reuters, recycling trade publications, patented process for 100% recovery of critical metals, including cobalt, lithium, nickel, manganese, aluminum. American Manganese is focused on recycling lithium-ion batteries for electric vehicles. American Manganese trades on the TSX Venture, AMY, the US, AMYZF, and Frankfurt 2AM. For more information, visit AmericanManganeseInc.com or phone me, Larry Ray, at 778-574-4444.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mike Shedlock. Mish, a new study said the world economy right now looks a lot like it did way back in the 1930s during the Depression. What's your make on that, and how do you survive that personally, financially, if you're interested in keeping your portfolio together?
Who said this?
It was a study that came out today where somebody was comparing world trade and how it stalled back then and how it's stalled now.
Well, I don't think we're anywhere near that point on world trade yet. If we look back to 1929, however, we can say that the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act did not cause the Great Depression, but it certainly made matters much worse. Trump is doing the same thing today, or similar things today. I don't believe yet to the same degree as what Smoot-Hawley did. So conditions are very, very different here now than then. And also the safety nets are certainly way better than they were during the Great Depression. So we've got food stamps and all kinds of things here that help, Social Security kinds of things. It doesn't mean that a lot of people won't get hurt in the next slowdown. I believe they will, quite badly. But, trying to compare this to the Great Depression seems a little bit more than far-fetched to me.
Companies are starting to lay off employees, anticipating a slowdown. Is laying off people actually going to be the start of the recession and making their prediction come true?
I'm wondering here, Jim, and I've been wondering this for quite some time, whether layoffs are anywhere as bad as they were in the last recession. In fact, I'm positive they won't be that bad because that was literally unprecedented. We had a lot of people in the mortgage industry, in real estate agents, in all the indices tied around that, in finance, that were let go en masse. We're not going to have that same kind of thing here. So what are we going to have? It's hard to say. We're going to have a slowdown, certainly in auto purchases. GM is already running, and Ford running, a pretty lean operation. One of the things that's not going to help them, however, is this last deal that they worked through. There's job guarantees and all kinds of things, and ability to keep plants open. How are you going to do that if demand for cars plunge? So, but with a lot of places running lean, what I would expect is reduced hours, not necessarily rising unemployment, certainly to the extent that we saw before. So we have people working 2 part-time jobs now, or a full-time job and a part-time job. Perhaps they go to a part-time job and a part-time job, or perhaps they lose one of their part-time jobs, or perhaps their hours are cut at both their full-time and part-time job. That's along the lines of what I'm thinking here, as opposed to a massive jump in the unemployment rate, especially as we still have these waves of boomers retiring because they've hit retirement age.
We'll have more with Mike Shedlock right after this.
Avon Resources Limited is a gold exploration company with significant projects in British Columbia and the Yukon, trading on the TSX Venture Exchange, symbol ABN, and the OTCQB, symbol ABNAF. Surrounded by world-class gold deposits and mines, Avon's 23,000 hectares Forest Kerr Gold Project is located in the heart of the Golden Triangle in northwestern BC. For more information, visit us at avonresources.com.
Don't miss out. Stay informed. Receive the HowStreet.com weekly recap with thought-provoking podcasts, radio, and articles delivered to your inbox. Sign up for the HowStreet.com weekly recap on our homepage at HowStreet.com.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Mike Shedlock. Mish, house flippers are receiving loans hand over fist. Is this some kind of warning about what's going to happen to the real estate market?
Yeah, I think so. I've got an article up on my screen today. A guy was trying to sell his house somewhere in L.A., I think, for, here it is in the Wall Street Journal. Let's see if we can pull this thing up here. For a price tag of $250 million. Imagine that, to what, 21 rooms and 30 cars, and just quite amazing. It went for less than $100 million. I don't know how anybody has $100 million to toss around, but we're seeing all kinds of things. We're seeing houses at the high end, especially. Longer and longer waiting lists. People are trying to cash out and can't. And then, of course, in Illinois, where we never had the same kind of property boom that much of the rest of the country had, primarily because of property taxes, and who wants to live in Illinois. But we're seeing houses here going for way less than what they went for 10 years ago, whereas most of the rest of the country at least has, recovered and gotten back to where prices were in 2007. Not in Illinois. We're seeing prices going for where they were in 2000.
Swiss and Danish banks are now charging 0.75% interest on large bank accounts. Why would anybody put money in a bank there?
Well, where else are they going to put it? They have to put it somewhere else. They have to take currency risk. If they can put it in another bank, there's negative rates all throughout Europe, but not all the banks are charging stuff yet. But one of the banks today, and I forgive me because I don't remember which one, actually increased their rate from up to zero. So we've got the first bank getting sick enough to of these negative interest rates and realizing how unproductive they are to actually raise interest rates to zero. Sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? And that's one of the problems here in the EU. I'm positive these things are extremely counterproductive. So why is Draghi doing it? I propose one possible reason is he simply doesn't care. He's hurting the banks. All the banks are complaining, especially Commerzbank and Deutsche Bank are complaining, very bitterly about these negative rates. I think they're getting hurt very badly. So what can if Draghi realizes that, why is he doing this? So instead of thinking he's just stupid, which is always a possibility, what if he's doing this to aid his goal of getting a combined budget, a combined United States of Europe, a commingled debt exchange to forgive all these loan imbalances between European countries. He very well could be trying to do that. So I don't know. I kind of have a rule, never rule out stupidity, especially if stupidity is one of the options. Actually, it's the most likely one. The question here with Draghi is how dumb can he really be? In contrast to some of the Fed governors we have here in the U.S. who look, act, and talk and sound really stupid, it's much easier to believe these guys in the U.S. really are that stupid than Mario Draghi, who does not come across that way. So does he have an ulterior motive? I don't know. If he did, I don't believe he would tell anybody else.
Mike, thank you so much for chatting with us.
Pleasure to be on the show. We'll catch you next time.
My guest has been Mike Mish Shedlock, editor of Mish's Global Economic Trend Analysis on maven.net/MishTalk. If you have any questions for Mish or any of our other guests, you can send them to info@howstreet.com. Our YouTube channel is Talk Digital Network. Find us on Twitter @HowStreet. I'm Jim Goddard. Thank you for listening.
Comments made on HowStreet.com radio are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any matter whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Available online at TalkDigitalNetwork.com. HowStreet.com radio is a production of HowStreet Media Incorporated.